Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or coming back, welcome to the new week, and let's dive straight into the reading. This is going to be a daily check for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine Collective. We'll dive a little bit deeper to see what we need to know about the journey, and we'll pull some cards, some messages between the twins today. So I also have my Hermit Tarot deck here. So we'll pull some messages actually. What would the twins like to share with each other? I will continue using my new Oracle deck, which is called the Guides of the Hidden Realms. This is the very, very new, latest and greatest, so to speak, deck from Colette Baron Wright. And I got inspired by it, like when I saw it and when I heard her talk about it, when I saw the video about like the background to it, and I immediately knew that I needed that deck. So there it is. We'll use it for a quick message for each of the twins at the beginning. So let's start with Divine Feminines as always. If somebody's wondering why I'm starting with DF, it's because the majority of my viewers are Divine Feminines, so that seems right, seems to make sense. I have a couple of blog articles that are pretty personal that are coming out this week and next week most likely. So there is a chance that my blog is going to shift slightly towards sharing my personal stories, which I guess is a little kind of a niche where I don't really speak about that. If you are on my Instagram, you'll see a lot of relevant content in terms of what's going on in my life. So if that's the area you're interested in, Instagram is the place. And if you go to my website, mindfulbamboo.com, you'll get the links to the socials. But there is no place right now where I'm sharing my personal stories. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of personal story in everything that I do, even this readings here. But you know, sometimes in order to understand the morale of the story or the learnings, the teachings, you need to know the story more deeply, right, in more detail. And when I'm using other formats, I usually don't really have time and space for that kind of content. But a couple of stories, like very real stories from my life, that they came around to me, and I feel guided to share about those. So maybe that's going to be the upgraded version of my blog, where I will be talking about different topics of spirituality, but from a perspective of my own experience, and then how it then combines with the natural laws, universal laws, and general practices and systems of belief that I have grown into and that I'm following in my own right. Okay, so let's see what we have for Divine Feminines. Just do that. Emergence of true knowing. We had the emergence of true knowing actually just yesterday. This is amazing, and you saw me shuffle, like I really shuffled, but this is the continuation of the story. So whoever is joining today, this is going to be the next episode, and it was the same collective. Intuition, rigorous honesty, inventory. Yeah, so for me, like for example, the example I just gave you, that rigorous honesty is gonna, in terms of how I present myself to the collective, is gonna be talking about my story in the blog. Stories, for that matter, right? It's up to you to see where that extra jolt of authenticity and or intuitive guidance is needed. For the masculines, we have listening to the ancestors. Oh, I love this. Inherited patterns, traditions, integrated wisdom versus knowledge. Yeah, so this is like, there's definitely in any culture, any family even, there are traditions. There are things that are being passed on from generation to generation, even if people don't really do it purposefully or don't really realize it, that's been a tradition in their family. Because you know, a lot of times people get used to certain things so much, as certain activities, habits, whatever, interests, that they just accept it as a default or take it for granted. It's like, yeah, it's just always been in our family, right? So yeah, there's like, regardless of whether you realize it or not, you are getting a certain portion of those traditions and customs and habits that come from the ancestors through generations, right? And this is now to see the wisdom there, right? A lot of times we criticize that knowledge or those traditions, that they are limited, that people didn't have as much insight or information back in the day. There is another side of it where people were actually closer to the spiritual guidance, to nature, to the voice of the universe than we are today, right? So it's not better or worse, right? It's just a different angle of it. And now is the time to see the wisdom in that angle. Okay, let's go into tarot now. I've got the Thelema deck today. It's getting a little long, but I'll try to speed it up because I don't want to hold you too long and have a busy day myself. Whew. Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, so this is getting in. I think we actually had Queen of Pentacles yesterday. It was probably in the clarifier deck, but still, wow, all the synchronicities, right? So this is getting down to business. This is like, okay, all the meditation and physical fitness and guidance, it's all great, but when it comes to real life, right, I'm supposed to apply it in my life right here, right now. And I actually realized that I'm not gonna need a couple of these cards. All right, because we're doing messages between the twins. So the strengths, yeah. So it takes certain courage to like, there's one thing when you're meditating or you are changing your belief system in the higher power, for example, how you have those conversations, and you don't necessarily need to tell anyone, right? Like, it's your very personal internal experience, and especially as long as it's working for you, then what's the big deal, right? But it's very different when then you realize through these practices, especially as you are changing your mindset, your viewpoints, that you want to make different decisions in your life. You want to go a completely different way. Maybe you want to move to a completely different place. You're interested in spending time with different people or in a different way, right? That may not necessarily be popular within your current friends and family circle. And that's when you need that courage to be able to do that, having a fear that you may be rejected within your current groups of people where you circulate, that you may not necessarily find a new group as fast as you may feel needed to, like as your ego wants to, right? So there may be a gap or a void there for a while, right? And then of course you don't really, a lot of times you don't know what that new is gonna be like, right? How that energy will then manifest itself into the physical reality. So the energy for the feminines is the Chariot clarified by the Judgment. Look at the major, feminines have been getting them, at least in my readings, for the last few weeks. It's crazy. You're getting so many downloads right now, so many upgrades, especially through your through the dreamland, when you're sleeping, when you're dreaming. A lot of information is coming in on the DNA level even, right? Information on like the important insights and the guidance into the direction. And I already gave you my example for today of what I got, and please share in the comments if you got something like that. And then, you know, that could be an inspiration to other people of how we get the guidance, what it could be. And then oftentimes it doesn't necessarily make sense immediately, right? But again, it's about being open to it and having that courage to explore, to give it a chance. Masculines continue getting pages. Page of Cups, clarified by Three of Pentacles. Masculines know that in order to collaborate with the feminine and do something spiritual or creative, you know, as part of the bigger mission, or at least part of creating the intimacy, that collaborative space with the feminine, some apology is in order. Whatever it is, can be big or small, but there is a kind of a block that doesn't allow right now, where the energies are, where the last conversation ended. It doesn't allow for the trusted space, and that space is key in order to be able to create something great, something beautiful. Whether it's romantic or as part of friendship or as part of a business project, it's necessary, especially for the twins, especially if, like, you know, there is a little bit of a difference between just two light workers or twin flames and two twins that are twins towards each other, right? So I would say even among any two light workers, it's already going to be hard if there is no trusted space. But if they're twin flames to each other, that's just not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. It's just gonna create more karma, most likely negative karma for both people, and that's it. It's gonna ricochet you from each other. Additional question: Knight of Wands clarified by Four of Swords. Ooh, so where do we get the source of inspiration and passion to keep going when we're tired? And this has been quite a tiring leg of the journey for both twins. King of Pentacles clarified by the Emperor for the Femmes. For the feminines, their DM is their inspiration and the future. This is the husband card, the father, you know, the boss could be as well, especially with the Emperor here. But you know, somebody who's a strong masculine figure that you see as a role model, you see as a strong partner, protector, you know, those qualities, right? And I'm glad that we actually have a couple now with the feminine. Yeah, but for the feminines, it's like, yeah, we are on the right track too, and I'm being prepared for this partnership, right? I'm working with my masculine within, you know, nurturing this energy, making sure that it's changing into a healthier way, right? Depends, of course, on what you are in engagement with the masculine energy has been so far. And I mean both the external relationships with fathers, you know, romantic partners, brothers, friends, whoever, and also the masculine within, right? So what do I mean by that? Of course, masculine is more about action, about making decisions, about courage, about you know, it's the yang energy. So depending on what that part of your personality and your life story has been, there may be some healing intact for the inner masculine for you. What do we have with the masculines? Two major arcanas again, and we have the Devil and the Lovers. What else can you ask for? So masculines are seeing the karma unfold within the love story. It could be with the feminine, it could be in a karmic situation, right? But they see, how do I say this? They become hopeful, or they keep the hope going because they understand that the failures they had in the past had to do with certain things that were unhealthy, that were toxic. So it's like, it's not really me or them. Like, it's not that I cannot make it work with this person at all. It's just that at that moment in time and space, we couldn't make it work because there were some unhealthy dynamics there, and it could be on either side, or most likely both, right? So it's more of an inspiration. Okay, I'm gonna look in those. So obviously that combination didn't work out, and it's a definition of insanity to be trying to do the same things and expect a different result. So if we want to have a different result in love this time, whether it's with a different person or the same one, doesn't matter. There's no point in trying to kind of just knuckle-headed and just keep doing the same thing and maybe it's gonna work this time. No, it won't. That was a big, or kind of like poster with flashing lights saying that, hey, there's something here that you need to look into and you need to heal if you want to build a truly loving relationship. Okay, have a couple of minutes left. Let's see what I'll get with the Hermit Tarot. It's quite a big deck, so we'll see what we get. First is gonna be messages from masculines to feminines. Wow, a lot of messages. It's all that page energy that we keep seeing. Yesterday we saw 2 or 3 pages on the masculine side. I still don't have all the answers. I think we should slow down, the classic. I need more time. This kind of fell in reverse, but you know, I feel like it's still the same kind of story. Love is the answer. And I think so, yes. At least this, you know, they're closing out on that. That love is the answer. It's just that the love experience they've had before wasn't necessarily a love experience in practice. And I keep saying this, the feeling of love and having a loving relationship are very different things. And even when we speak of twins, which we do say that this is unconditional love for sure, it doesn't equal a relationship. I.e., if I love you unconditionally, and I do, it doesn't automatically mean that I want to be in a relationship with you in these energies that we're in, right? Not the same thing at all. So they are now starting to see the difference of the feelings versus how it's implemented in reality, right? And they are understanding that they need to take more time, right? And we just saw these cards to figure things out. What was unhealthy there? How do I do it better next time? Because I really want for this to work out. What are the messages for feminines? From feminines to masculines. We have words do hurt, your family won't like me, and I could be your hero, baby. So feminines definitely want to have a harmonious union. They do understand right now that there is certain pain that lives on between the two that needs to be processed and transmuted. And I feel like they also don't have all the answers, as that card too, but they do have hope that this can be and will be victorious, right? It's just about being very intuitively kind of careful and taking small steps and experimenting and feeling through the energies to first of all understand when the divine timing is, and also to keep getting the downloads and keep learning. And there was something hurtful that was said on the masculine side, and I guess that's where that apology is due, that the masculines know about. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and until next time.